The residents of Grenfell Tower paid a heavy price for the cladding refurbishment craze that has been sweeping Britain for the past decade. One of 30 to 50-year-old social housing tower blocks, many of which should have been demolished, but instead of being dolled up with cladding and insulation to reduce energy costs to make them externally more appealing to both residents and visitors, and most importantly nearby affluent areas, as was the case with Grenfell Tower, a pocket of social housing in Kensington, probably the most affluent area of Britain. The cladding is the number one suspect for the disaster, as cheap low-cost combustible materials that are widespread in Britain's social housing sector funnel the flames up the building like a chimney, spreading the fire upwards and inwards, engulfing the tower block within 30 minutes. And Britain has over 4,000 similar tower blocks across the land, which has triggered city councils to, in a panic, start checking the materials used to refurbish and clad their own tower blocks. And Sheffield also has over 100 tower blocks across the city, many of which have recently been clad. Whilst newer tower blocks constructed over the past decade should be safe, though may not be, given that an earlier tower block fire at Lacknell House in 2009 never resulted in any change in building regulations. One thing that the people of Sheffield will have witnessed over the past decade is that all decaying concrete jungle social housing tower blocks have undergone at least external refurbishments, printing up the dull concrete blocks with colourful external insulated exteriors. Of course, being social housing, cheap combustible material has likely been used, as is allowed for by clearly not fit for purpose building regulations, which has now put many thousands of Sheffield residents in peril should something similar to Grenfell Tower happen over here. Residents of Grenfell Tower warnings of dangers of fire, and specifically the risks of a catastrophic event, went unheeded by the local council. The same is likely to have happened in tower blocks up and down the land, including Sheffield, leaving behind thousands of ticking time bombs. So cladding not only hides the state of the buildings beneath, but acts as a fire accelerant. Sheffield, like most major UK cities, went on a tower black flats building binge during the 60s to mid-80s, creating the concrete jungle that recently many social housing landlords have been attempting to mask with cladding. So Sheffield tower blocks, like elsewhere, are lined up like dominoes, all cladded up, ready to tumble, and just like Grenfell Towers, councils tend to ignore the concerns of residents. From the University of Sheffield's Art Tower, to student flats, to social housing, all cladded up, many if not most with combustible material, translates into a nightmare for Sheffield Flats residents as the city council scrambles to undo the consequences of that which they have ignored for a decade. And where Sheffield is concerned, the city council is proposing to install sprinkler systems in all of its high-rise blocks of flats as part of a 5-year programme, whilst the ticking time bombs continue to tick.